It's a Les Paul, Lee.
It's a Les Paul.
Where are we?
We're at Andertons.co.uk, old time, new #1 brand in Guildford, according to my t-shirt.
This is one of the nicest Gibsons I played in such a long time, and it's so exciting to have a Gibson that feels like it's a Gibson and isn't like an apologetic Gibson because it isn't quite up to spec. It's a guitar that excites me.
Well, that's
LPJ.
good news. LPJ.
Yes.
So there was an LPJ in, by the way, this is part 2 of our Gibson 2014 lineup video. And this is the 2014 LPJ. So it replaces the 2013 LPJ, and I don't think it's massively different, but let's talk about some of the features on this guitar.
There are some very small
let's talk about
differences. Some of the differences are sort of a feedy play difference, and some of them are more aesthetic, like the Chappersoid inlay on the 12th fret. That's what it's called, isn't it? Chappersoid?
Well, no, these are Chappersoid. This one's more sort of scroll banner-like.
Yes. Scroll banner-like.
I think a lot of people will... I think this will probably be the biggest Marmite feature of the new guitars, because some people are going to go, wow, it's the 120th anniversary of Gibson, we're only going to make these guitars for a year with this special inlay in them, and maybe in a few years' time they're going to be worth a load of dough. And other people will go, you know what, I would have just preferred if they'd have just done the normal 12th fret inlay.
You know what my opinion is?
What's your
Honestly,
opinion?
I think it's really cool.
Yeah, no,
I like it a lot. And I would get one purely on the strength of that inlay. I think it's really awesome. I just really like it.
Such a superficial player.
Just being honest, you know. Sometimes it's good to be superficial.
So tell me about the build on this guitar.
Well, it's a mahogany body.
It is.
Actually, you know what? A really nice mahogany body, because just look at that beautiful flamage and all the lovely wood. And this is my favourite kind of finish.
Well, this is
cherry.
We may want to go back just shortly, because although it is a mahogany body, it is still a maple top.
Yes.
So let's just Tell me about the tell me about kind of like the build features on this here guitar.
Let's start with the tree wood.
Do it.
It's made of tree woods. It's mahogany body, which is just beautiful grainy and loveliness, and then it's a maple top. And look how lovely this maple top is, Lee.
Yeah, I can see on these,
ribbons.
obviously, obviously it's not the sort of the crazy flame type of maple that they'll use on the dearer
Still
ones.
got some flame though, man.
Yeah, but it's still a proper maple top.
And you can see it's not too thin. You can see a bit of
It's a
thickness
proper
there.
cap.
Bit
It's
of
not a
chev.
veneer. It's a proper cap. This particular body as well has what they call the traditional weight relief. So this is what, as far as I understand, there are 3 types of kind of Les Paul bodies.
Yeah.
You can have no weight relief, which we'll get to later, so just a solid slab. You have traditional weight relief, which is where kind of like cork sort of style plugs are taken out of the body, as in not cork shaped type plugs are coming out. And then you can have chambered, which is like the modern weight relieving,
which is slightly more acoustically resonant.
Yeah, where more of the wood is taken out. So I don't know. Does it feel lighter?
It feels really light.
It does.
Yeah, no, it feels great.
Yeah.
In fact, when I first picked them up, this one and also the Junior, the Melody Maker.
Yeah.
Just they feel great.
Yeah, they've done a good job,
really
haven't
feel
they?
together, and they've done a really good job. I have to say, good fret job. Nice feeling frets. And these are treated cryogenically to prevent them from rusting quickly.
That's
apparently.
amazing. Do you know
cryogenic
what?
frets.
So that's, you see, I, at some point, if I make a lot of money in life or win the lottery or something like that, I'm going to have my head cryogenically frozen, so that in 1,000 years' time, hopefully, when they've worked out how to rebuild my body just using a frozen brain, I'm going to come back.
Well, you'll be in good company with Walt Disney.
Has he done the same?
He's done exactly the same thing, and anybody else is completely batshit crazy. But yeah, cryogenic frets. Although, of course, living in England, everything's cryogenic anyway. And a lovely little LPJ thing. I think actually of everything, this maybe slightly spoils the guitar, because it looks like an off-the-shelf font and like an afterthought. And I think this was so nicely done. That slightly ruins it. However,
you could always take that off, couldn't you? Or just get a black pen and colour it in.
You could do whatever you want with it.
Tell us more about the guitar. Actually, do you know what? We did spot something on the spec sheet that we were sort of trying to decide, is it a typo or is it correct? So at the specs each, I'll try and speak properly.
Maple neck. That's what
It
you're going
says
to say.
it's a
Isn't
maple neck.
it looks like a maple neck to me, buddy.
Yeah, it's hard to tell in that stain. It's not. I mean, this guitar's a maple neck, and the grain is obviously maple.
Yeah.
So
It looks like a maple neck. I mean, the thing is, it's the same colour, and this is a really close grain mahogany. So, and this isn't ripply maple as you would see maple normally on a nice expensive guitar. But still, it's the USA Les Paul. It looks absolutely amazing.
And what pups are on that then?
Zebras.
Zebras.
These are the zebras from Gibson.
From what year? Maybe it was
60s zebras.
61.
61 zebras. So yeah, and my favourite kind of knob because they're great and speedy. Although you've got to be careful because if you do really speedily get to them, you can find them a little bit sharp. But
are you going to say that you might be able to cut yourself on a Gibson volume knob?
no, I never said you could cut yourself, but they are a little bit sharp to the hands. Most importantly of all, though, sounds like this. Great sounding
Proper
Les
sound,
Paul.
isn't it? Proper
Proper
sound.
sound through a Marshall amplifier.
I should just say at this point, a slight faux pas in the Melody Maker video that we did before, because the Melody Maker has a 50s style neck, and I reached over to this guitar and I went, I can't really feel the difference here between the 50s and the 60s style neck. That's because this is also a 50s style neck. And the one I have in my hand now is indeed a 60s style neck, and you can feel it's a little bit shallower.
Oh,
slimmer.
yeah.
So that's why I couldn't feel the difference before.
There you go.
What else is new and exciting about this guitar?
I don't know.
It looks like it's kind of got almost like a VOS style.
I wondered if this was titanium.
Is it really?
Well, I don't know.
No,
That's why I wondered.
I think they've just taken like on a VOS aged guitar where it sort of takes the shine off the guitar. I just think it looks a bit kind of like worn in. I like it. Gives it that sort of like, I've had this guitar for a few years, been to a few battles with it.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, there's not a lot else to say really about this particular guitar, other than it feels great.
Yeah, it comes with a really good gig bag. You know, again, the super thick padded Gibson gig bags. So the LPJ, in terms of price-wise, if you live in the UK, is going to set you back just under £550. And actually, there's also an identical guitar called LPM to this, which is the mini-tune loaded version, which will cost you just under £600.
Awesome.
Let's jam.